In order to properly size culverts, to drain across a road, and to properly size storm sewer inlets, it is necessary to properly isolate the watersheds involved that feed the culverts and the inlets. And sometimes you need to dial these settings on pond volume and depth to appear in order to isolate the watersheds correctly. So let's examine this. We'll escape out and minimize here and go into P3D. Now, we have set the minimum pond depth to appear at 0.4. And this has helped us find this little artifact of the DTM that shouldn't be there, and we need to blend this out on the DTM so the water drains through that area without there being a little pond. But some small ponds are meant to be there, such as these roadside ditches. And the problem here is that their volume is only, look to the upper right, 288.367 cubic feet, which is less than, if we click into the rational 50-year storm, which leads to its associated Property Explorer elements, and pull this down, you'll see that we have a minimum pond volume to actually isolate the watershed feeding it set too high at 1,000. That's higher than the 288 when we hover over the water in this pond. 288 is smaller than 1,000. We won't see it unless we dial this down. Well, we're going to dial it down to 200. Here it is, 200. There we go. Now we will recalculate. See, right now we don't see the isolated watersheds of these two. He's also around 200. So we're going to recalculate, and now we'll get isolated watersheds for these two small roadside ditch ponds, which then we can drain with a culvert. And we will do that in video 3. The purpose of this video is just to show how you can control the isolation of the watersheds above a pond, almost a puddle, that needs to be drained. So this needs a little culvert placed in here crossing that entrance, and this also needs a little culvert placed in crossing that entrance. The yellow stick, by the way, represents the low point where you would in effect snap to place the culvert. And that's the subject of the next video. We have successfully isolated the watersheds, feeding that, and we have not set the volume so low as to create a new little watershed for this small pond whose volume is 14.4 cubic feet, far less than our 200 setting. No distinct watershed was created above this pond, which we actually intend to remove and eliminate by fixing the DTM. That is shown in one of the videos in the 40 series.